Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to be going over how to properly use the Orbital Strike Cannon Mark 6 or the Orbital Strike Cannon 6.0. And to do this, you're going to want to be using Lightmatica, which is a mod that basically lets you paste anything into your world by just pressing the schematics thing, and then you can paste whatever you want from your schematics folder. I'm not going to be making a tutorial on how to use that. I will maybe in another video, but not right now. So we're going to go over how to use the Orbital Strike Cannon. So right here, right now, we're going to want to TP to /TP5792. Let's do like 180 and 1184. So you're going to want to TP to those specific coordinates, and you're not going to want to move anywhere. So if you already moved, just TP back. Load schematics, and then the Orbital Strike Cannon MK 6.1. Load schematic, make sure the create placement is checked. Now you can start moving. You're going to move out of the area where all this is. And then whatever your paste key is, mine is M and O, so I just hold M and press O. And now there we go, schematic has been placed into the world. And then I will usually go to loaded schematics and unload this so that the borderline isn't showing. Next what we're going to want to do is we're going to do TP wherever you want, so let's just do 10,000, 160, 10,000. And then you're just going to want to load schematics and do your control panel this time. And then you're going to press F3G to make sure that the chunk is properly aligned with this thing, with the green box. Also guys, link will be in the description for if you want to be downloading all of the schematics and the downloads that I have. Like the control panel, you obviously have to download as a mod for Lightmatica, like a schematic and stuff like that, and even the Orbital Strike Cannon 6.0. But you can't find that from Cubic Meter's video, which he posted about the Orbital Strike Cannon 6.0. So just go ahead and check out his video, and then you can go ahead and find the mods from there. And from here on out, you're just gonna do load schematics and unload that. You're not gonna press anything here. You're gonna go back to your cannon, and you're gonna want to go ahead and do. So actually, before you do that, we're gonna want to make sure that you have the /carpet TI, that you have carpet and TIS, carpet TIS edition installed, because you're gonna want to do /carpet optimized fast entity movement true, change permanently true. And if you want to watch this cannon be active like as it works, /game rule spectators generate chunks false. The only reason you have to be in spectator mode when this thing actually like works is because this is a cannon that uses unloaded chunks to properly function. So basically, if you load this chunk like in creative mode or anything, it's not going to work. So first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go through one of these portals. So let's just go through this portal over here. So yep, go through this portal, break it, and then you're going to want to break upward. Holy crap, wait, how? What? Okay, alright. So in here, you're not going to find this obviously, but you might if you already have it downloaded. So you're going to go back to your stick, press M, go to schematic placements, configure, make sure it's at 724 and 148 and 131. There we go. So we're going to M and O, which is whatever your, oh wait, what? Okay, M and O. Let's go ahead and delete the task. There we go. Alright, now we go through this portal, flick this on to make sure it works, turn it off if it does work. And then what you're going to want to do is you're actually going to want to turn on both of these. Now, the only reason I turn that one on and off is to make sure it actually works. So then I can turn on that one first. And the next thing you're going to want to do is don't touch any of this because this is the passcode. If you change this, you're going to actually have to change this on the control panel, which will mess up the entire thing. So just leave it like this. Don't touch anything like there. And then do not flick this lever unless you're ready to do everything. But if you are ready, all you need to do is just flick this lever off. So, bam. Now the cannon is completely active. So if I just go ahead and go into spectator mode, this stuff will start to work. And you can see the only reason it's actually working is because these chunk loaders right here that are pushing boats into the nether and back out into the overworld is because that's the chunk loader, and all this works automatically. And the one good way to tell if your cannon is actually working or not is the trapdoor working. So if I really quickly go ahead and creative mode, it will close. And the only reason this trapdoor will work is because these things are actually not being chunk loaded right now. which means the shears aren't going into each other. So, and this comparator actually tells if it's actually going to each other or not. So all these activate the trapdoor, and that one activates the daylight sensor, which is just right there. You can see that's actually active right now. And the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go back to your control panel, and you're going to want to go here. Do not flick any of these levers. And then you're going to want to really quickly download the Excel spreadsheet from Cubic Metre. And then you're going to have to open it. It's called the OSC 6.0 Fire Control. So we're going to really quickly switch over from there. Okay, so, okay, once you have the Excel spreadsheet opened, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find your target coordinates. So let's go ahead and go near our cannon. Let's go back and TP to our cannon. We're going to find somewhere that's near. You see, this is an abandoned village right here. I don't see these really that often. And what's really crazy is that it has 2 blacksmiths, but sadly it is abandoned, and there are zombie villagers that just walked into the light. They're dumb. Okay, so I don't think we should do this one because it's abandoned and it's way too close to the cannon, and it might actually blow up the cannon. So we're gonna go really quickly go over here and do it. So okay, let's do it in the middle of the village, like around here or something. All right, so our coordinates are 5649. We have to really quickly type that in the Excel spreadsheet. So 5649. And then the thing with your y coordinates is that if all of you have already watched Cubic Metre's video about how to use the control panel, like in the fire control for the cannon and the Excel spreadsheet, you will notice that he actually puts in the exact coordinates. So right now it's 91, but for my y coordinates I actually have it at -50, and I'm actually going to change it to -60. Now, the only reason I'm changing it to negatives is because you can see the exact position of the fire. If I'm going to really quickly type in the last coordinate, 1621. And you can see, if I press enter, it shows that the exact fire position is 80. And we don't want it to be 80. Okay, so that is 80. We do want it to be 80. I'm sorry. But if I really quickly type in 90, you're going to see that the fire cord is 229 blocks up in the air, and you don't want that. So we're going to go ahead and set it to -80. Actually, we don't need -80. We can do -60. So make sure it's at -60, because that is actually going to change your cannon fire a lot. And that's what I see most people complaining about the Orbital Strike Cannon, is that it doesn't fire, and it just doesn't work. My payload was built, but it doesn't fire, stuff like that. That is because your position, your y coordinates aren't inputted properly. That might be a reason for most people, but I'm not really sure why it's the main reason. It's just for some reason it is. You can change your nuke size, you can change your stab depth, you can change your type. This is the mag slot, whatever you call it, the magazine slot. I forgot what they were saying. And then the passcode, you don't want to change. Just make sure that it's the same. So it's 940. The origin of the cannon is where where you paste it into the cannon. And then what you're going to want to do after is you're going to want to TP it back to your control panel. And then I'm actually going to really quickly move this around. So I'm going to unfull screen this. And then I'm going to move it over. I'm going to re-full screen. And then I'm going to really quickly type in input all the settings. So this is the passcode for 940, so just don't change that. These two right here. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Alright. This one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. After that, I'm going to go back to my main screen. On full screen. Go back. Full screen. Now, the only reason I do this is because my computer my PC likes to do something where it black screens, and it might, screen doesn't want to show at all. it's really annoying, so that's why I have to do it. And if you want to be a part of the action, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to use a fishing rod, but I will show that later. So right here is the chunk loader. You're going to want to turn this on if you want to like see the cannon in action. But if you don't want to see it in action, you don't have to turn this on. But I recommend to turn it off. The light should be on if it's off. Oh, it's really weird. So if you want to see your cannon in action, you want to do /game roll spectators generate chunks false. Make sure it's set to false. And then all you can do is press this button, but I'm not going to press it yet because I want to show you what I mean by how the cannon works. So right here, the cannon actually has dupers, which actually get put into a payload, which then gets sent over to the magazine slot or whatever. Hold on, let me find it. Where is that? This is the slots where it gets shot into. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I actually read that wrong. There's actually only 8. This is the first slot, I believe. And basically how it works is that it will shoot a, it'll either shoot it upwards and send it flying one way, the other way, all four ways. That's how it pretty much works. I'm pretty sure that's how it works because that's how we'll actually leave the cannon. Let's go back to our control panel, and now we will flick the switch. Okay. Flick it, and just wait for these. And if this starts to blink, that means your cannon is indeed working. So if you want to see the cannon in action, what you're going to want to do is do /tick freeze. Go into spectator, actually no, don't go into spectator mode. Stay in creative. Go back to your cannon, right here. Wait for most of your chunks to load. Go into spectator mode, /tick unfreeze. And then now you can actually watch as your cannon builds its massive payload right here. So this is actually the warhead builder. This isn't the payload builder. I'm pretty sure this is just on like top of the launch it. I haven't studied all this yet, but I do know that this is the warhead builder. Yep, here's the TNT duping machine. And so basically what this is doing is it is building the actual form of the warhead and making sure that it actually fires in a correct direction. And after you see these TNT duping a ton of times, it's going to send pistons over here. And then right after, your dupers are going to start working just like this. It's going to start building your payload. It's going to be really loud, so you might want to turn down your volume because this thing gets really, really loud. I'm going to really quickly turn down my blocks so that it's not as loud. Okay. And if you're wondering how I just did that with the light switch and everything, it's just called using a full bright mod by just pressing a hotkey and it'll just automatically set up something. And then this will actually start to send your final payload. And then after that, these pistons will actually start moving. Over here. And then that just moved. Which means your cannon is now ready to fire, but do not go into creative mode, guys. Do not go into creative mode, because it will blow up the cannon. Now, all you're going to want to do is you're actually going to want to go back to where your fire coordinates are, which I believe they were over here somewhere. Yep. So we're going to go ahead and do /tick freeze, so then the game doesn't move. And you can see right there that it is indeed our payload right there. It is a huge payload. This right here, what you were looking at, is not one TNT. As you can see, it looks like multiple TNT that are glitched in together. That's around, I believe, maybe 1,000 or maybe 2,000 maybe. From here, it doesn't look like that much. But if I really quickly go ahead and do /tick unfreeze, this is the sheer destruction of an orbital strike cannon. Now, this is only size 16, and it could go up to size 31. Size 31, I guess, will basically maybe reach up to there. It'll be really big, but I'm not going to do size 31 because it's going to lag my game severely. Now, if it didn't fire properly, that means you did something wrong with your cannon. or you did not use /carpet optimize fast entity movement.